Only wear a red rose in your buttonhole, please, so I'll surely smile at the right man. It would be an awfully embarrassing mistake if I picked out the wrong one. We came back Saturday night and had our dinner in the train, at little tables with pink lamps and Negro waiters. I never heard of meals being served in trains before, and I inadvertently said so. "Where on earth were you brought up?" said Julia to me. "In a village," said I meekly to Julia. "But didn't you ever travel?" said she to me. "Not till I came to college, and then it was only 160 miles and we didn't eat," said I to her. She's getting quite interested in me, because I say such funny things. I try hard not to, but they do pop out when I'm surprised, and I'm surprised most of the time. It's a dizzying experience, Daddy, to pass 18 years in the John Grier home, and then suddenly to be plunged into the world. But I'm getting acclimated. I don't make such awful mistakes as I did, and I don't feel uncomfortable anymore with the other girls. I used to squirm whenever people looked at me. I felt as though they saw right through my sham new clothes to the check ginghams underneath. But I'm not letting the ginghams bother me anymore. Sufficient unto yesterday is the evil thereof. I forgot to tell you about our flowers. Master Jervy gave us each a big bunch of violets and lilies of the valley. Wasn't that sweet of him? I never used to care much for men, judging by trustees, but I'm changing my mind. "11 pages. This is a letter. Have courage. I'm going to stop. Yours always, Judy. 10th April. Dear Mr. Rich Man. Here's your check for $50. Thank you very much, but I do not feel that I can keep it. My allowance is sufficient to afford all of the hats that I need. I'm sorry that I wrote all that silly stuff about the millinery shop. It's just that I had never seen anything like it before. However, I wasn't begging. And I would rather not accept any more charity than I have to. Sincerely yours, ㅣ쉐도잉. 11th April. Dearest Daddy, will you please forgive me for the letter I wrote you yesterday? After I posted it, I was sorry and tried to get it back, but that beastly mail clerk wouldn't give it back to me. It's the middle of the night now. I've been awake for hours thinking what a worm I am. What a thousand-legged worm. And that's the worst I can say. I've closed the door very softly into the study, so as not to wake Julia and Sally, and am sitting up in bed writing to you on paper torn out of my history notebook. I just wanted to tell you that I am sorry I was so impolite about your check. I know you meant it kindly, and I think you're an old dear to take so much trouble for such a silly thing as a hat. I ought to have returned it very much more graciously. But in any case, I had to return it. It's different with me than with other girls. They can take things naturally from people. They have fathers and brothers and aunts and uncles, but I can't be on any such relations with anyone. I like to pretend that you belong to me, just to play with the idea, but of course I know you don't. I'm alone, really, with my back to the wall fighting the world, and I get sort of gaspy when I think about it. I put it out of my mind and keep on pretending, but don't you see, Daddy? I can't accept any more money than I have to, because someday I shall be wanting to pay it back, and even as great an author as I intend to be won't be able to face a perfectly tremendous debt. I'd love pretty hats and things, but I mustn't mortgage the future to pay for them. You'll forgive me, won't you, for being so rude? I have an awful habit of writing impulsively when I first think things and then posting the letter beyond recall.